Hour number 2 of the Bob Tuskin Show, folks. And you know what that means. It's Friday, it's hour number 2, and we got Scott Bug with us. Scott from the Believers Underground, his prolific YouTube channel, The Believers Underground. Scott, thanks so much for joining us as usual.
Oh, love to be on.
All right, buddy. So what's the topic for this week's look at Earth changes? Well,
I want to talk about chemtrails a little bit from what I've been noticing with
Are they spraying near you?
Oh, they're bombing us today, big time.
Really?
Yeah, but what I've noticed the last couple of days with the sun, it's been like in a magnifying glass. It's just like burning the skin, and I've never felt that effect. You know, ever since Fukushima blew up 5 months ago, I've been noticing more and more changes with the power of the sun. It feels like it's a magnifying glass now.
Now, those rays, what did they call those? The solar flares that we reported, what was it, last week or the week before? Nothing panned out. Turns out the grid is still intact, at least it is at the moment, and nothing really turned out about that. You were predicting that there was a possibility that it could take us out. What happened?
Well, we're under the power of what's going on out there. You know, if it hits us the right angle, then you know we're going to be in trouble. If it doesn't, then you know we scored. We lucked out again. But you know, it's like back in the 1800s when all the telegraph poles fried. You know, the possibility of a strong one is there. If we had that same kind of event that they had in the 1800s, and history has a way of repeating itself. And back then, you didn't have all this technology. I mean, it would give us a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble.
All right, well, fair enough. What are you going to tell us about chemtrails?
Well, I think what's going on now is I've been actually noticing that the newspapers are covering the ozone. And they'd say it's an 8 ozone rating or a 9 ozone rating or even a 10, which is like the worst. And I think we have a bigger problem with our ozone than they're letting on. And judging by the numbers.
That's interesting. Because that's kind of the inspiration I got. I don't know if you heard last hour, I did a little parody of a chemtrail weather report, but I was thinking about the air quality reports and the ozone reports that we see in the newspaper. It's interesting you bring that up because I thought that was odd.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. This is a fairly recent thing that they're covering the ozone in the local newspapers. That's not good.
Well, we got to spray it and put a big Band-Aid in there, and who cares if the useless eaters have to inhale a little bit of aluminum, you know, barium, those sorts of things. Who cares?
Well, it was kind of a relief having them spray it today, as sad as that sounds. You know, I mean, the sun has been brutal the last couple of days, and they started spraying this morning in the nighttime. You know, that's when I wake up because I got a radio show to do early in the mornings. So I'm up at like 3:30 in the morning. But
well, we need to spray the skies. People everywhere are being poisoned by vitamin D. They're getting way too much vitamin D from the sun, folks. Everybody out there has the potential of overdosing off of vitamin D from the sun, and not enough people are vitamin D efficient. And in fact, there's only a very small percentage of people in the world who are vitamin D deficient, so we can't have too much sunlight now. Anyways, as you know, I'm joking, folks, because vitamin D is extremely important. We'll pick it up in just a moment with Scott Bug for the full hour. 866-841-1065, the number to join us.
From LibertyStickers.com. Exercise your freedom of speech with the world's most dangerous bumper stickers. That's LibertyStickers.com. But wait. There's more. You can buy Liberty Stickers wholesale. Get them for 99 cents each when you put 100 or more in your shopping cart in any combination. Sell them or give them away. They're great for gun shows, flea markets, fairs, outreach, and more. Earn extra money, promote freedom, and spread the word. Need custom stickers, labels, or decals for your organization or business? Liberty Stickers makes them. Go to LibertyStickers.com to order or call 877-873-9626. LibertyStickers.com. The world's most dangerous stickers.
Alrighty, Scott from the Believers Underground. Take it away, brother.
All right. But what I've been noticing with this chemtrail stuff, today with them spraying all that stuff, it was actually the sun wasn't burning, the skin and stuff. So, I think they got a whole bunch of problems with the climate. And it's only going to get worse from here, like I've always been stating, but, facts are facts. But I don't know what's causing this greater heat effect with the sun. I don't know if it's the metal particles that are floating up there from Fukushima that are radioactive. I mean, these are hot particles blowing way the heck up in our atmosphere. Who knows what kind of damage and destruction it's causing globally on this ozone, and I have this gut feeling it's causing this stupid magnifying glass effect, and if it is, then that ice is going to melt a lot faster. And we already knew that it caused a 40% increase in the hole in the ozone, which was a report that came out 3 weeks after Fukushima blew up. So, I mean, this whole radioactive nightmare that's going on over there is affecting the entire global community, and they're not stating nothing on TV, radios, or anything else. But what a question I was bringing up to all my listeners this week was, and I'd like to bring it up with your listeners, what would you do if you were president? Okay, just basically...
If I was president, I would be elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, and buried on Sunday.
Well, I mean, your first day in office, Congress just took off, and this is what Bush pulled. The Congress and Senate would take off for their vacation time, whatever, and he would just do an executive order. Bam. No vote, no nothing. And I mean, I know what I would do my first day in a heartbeat. I'd go right after incorporation, that idol, because man, we don't need idols. That's stupid. That's like having a stupid pad of paper run your life. That's retarded. But I mean, all kinds of other things. And the information dump. Well, what kind of information would you love to share with the American people if you became president for one?
Well, listen to this. Next week, Scott, we have Clint Richardson coming on the show, who's the filmmaker of Corporation Nation, and he actually is running for president of the corporation known as the United States. Very clever. And he talks about this. He says that if he's elected president, his chief of staff is going to be, well, it's to be announced, but his vice president is going to be Chuck Baldwin of the Constitution Party. He says the Secretary of State, Cynthia McKinney, Secretary of Treasury, Catherine Austin Fitts, the Attorney General, Edwin Vieira, and the Secretary of Interior, Russell Means. Some of these people I don't know, but I like this one, the Secretary of Commerce, G. Edward Griffin. I don't know about that one, but interesting. But the one I like that I was going to read to you here that I like the most is the Secretary of Education, being John Taylor Gatto and Charlotte Iserbeef. So there's a nice list of possible cabinet members, and I think the whole presidential election is a distraction, if you will. But that's a good question to ask. What would you do if you were elected president? 866-841-1065. That's the number to join us. Get out your crayon, write this down. We want to hear what you would do. 866-841-1065. So, the Clint 4P is the website for Clint Richardson running for president. And that will be on, Tuesday of next week? Yeah, I think it's Tuesday next week on the Bob Tuskin Show.
Oh, that is so cool. And I mean, I've had a myriad of responses on that question. The one I liked the best was the first thing I would do is I would get everybody in a group prayer. I go, yeah, you're going to need that one. Could you imagine the face of all these CEOs and everything else? I mean, say I get elected to president and I'm president, because I don't care, man. I get took out, man. God would just lift up two more. But so the first thing I would do is, okay, articles of incorporation, you're gone, so you're no longer persons. And one of my subs goes, hey man, did you hear that guy the other day? What was his name? Richard Black or something like that. He said that he talked about taxes, and he goes, oh, all the people need to pay more taxes, and then the senator or whatever he was stated, someone from the audience yelled out and said, hey, the corporations should pay more taxes. And then this guy goes, corporations are people, and one of my sons goes, man, just what you've been saying all along. He goes, matter of fact, I can even read the message. It says, Dear Captain James T. Kirk, because everybody who knows me on YouTube, I have Captain Kirk for the icon. It's because we have the same birthday. But did you catch that soundbite on Matt Rooney the other day? He was talking about taxes, and he slipped up and said, we need to tax the people. Someone in the crowd yelled, we need to tax the corporations. And Matt answered, the companies are people. It freaked me out because I instantly thought of the stuff you've been talking about lately, but they are. And they're not people. Holy smokes, backed by legal fiction, statutes, and acts, I would can the lot of it. The whole kit and caboodle. And I mean every single act and statute and legal fiction attached to that garbage, I would broom it all. And hey, Bush was able to do it. Any of these presidents can do it. So, what's preventing Obama from doing it? They're running mega cons.
He doesn't have enough change.
Well, didn't he run under the
open change?
Yeah,
open change.
A change you could believe in.
Open change. Open change.
Open change.
If you say something enough, folks, and repeat it enough, it starts to open change. Open change.
Open change. Well, you know what? Here's our hope, and there's the change. Broom these people. Okay, these fictional characters, which fiction is a lie. It's made up. It's phony. It doesn't exist. Like your debt, which was just ripped off from the American people. It's all digital dollars. None of it exists. It's all a con. And there is no stupid debt. All this stuff is just legal fictions. That's all it is. I was looking at one of my friend's vids. Arizona Public. He did a vid on this gal that was covering the BP oil spill. And this person, Mr. BP, has been gucking up that entire coastline still. You should see the guck and dead crabs and turtles, deformed turtles and everything else. We've had two of the worst eco disasters in the history of this planet in the last 12 months, with Fukushima and BP. Wow, this earth is taking major hits. And I shudder to think what's going to happen next, because the earth is still in trouble.
Well, that thought, folks, we'll pick it up in just a moment. It's the Bob Tuskin Show. I want to thank all of the affiliates of the Bob Tuskin Show, the Orion Talk Radio Network, of course, Oracle Broadcasting, and all the great AM and FM affiliates of the program.